Something happened to this person. Not last month, not last year. Recently, very recently, they woke up and their face was wet. Their pillow was wet, and they did not understand why. They had not been dreaming about you. They had not been thinking about you before they fell asleep. They had done everything they could to keep your name out of their mind that night. And still, the tears came, not during the day when they could blame it on stress, not during a conversation when they could blame it on something someone said. In sleep, in the one place where they have no control, in the one place where their mind cannot stand guard, the tears found a way through, and the universe showed me why. What you are about to hear is the reason behind those tears, not the surface reason, not the one they would give if someone asked, the real reason, the one that lives so deep inside them that even they do not have words for it yet. But the universe does. And the universe asked me to bring those words to you tonight. Let your body settle. What is moving through this message has been waiting for you. Not for anyone else. For you. Your soul called this in, and now it is here. Welcome to Soul Signal. Subscribe now and turn on all notifications so you never miss when the universe has something to share with you. They woke up crying, and the first thing they did was touch their own face, not because they knew the tears were there, because something felt wrong, something felt wet, something felt like their body had been doing something while they were gone. And when their fingers came away damp, they lay there in the quiet, and they did not move. They did not wipe the tears away. They just lay there, staring at the ceiling, feeling the weight of something they could not name pressing down on their chest like a hand made of smoke. They were not sad. That is what confused them. They checked. They ran through their mind the way a person checks their pockets after leaving a room. Did something happen yesterday? Did someone say something? Did a memory surface before sleep? Nothing. There was nothing. And that is what made it worse. Because sadness with a reason can be fixed. Sadness with a source can be traced and understood and eventually set down. But tears that arrive without a reason. Tears that come from somewhere the mind cannot reach. Those are the tears that change a person. Those tears were not sadness. They were recognition. Their soul recognized something their mind has been refusing to see. And in the only moment where the mind was not watching, the soul said what it needed to say. In the only language the body understands without translation. Through tears. The universe showed me the first reason those tears came. And it is this. While they were sleeping, their soul left their body and traveled to you. Not in a dream, not in a thought. In the space between sleep and something deeper than sleep. The space where the body is still but the soul is free. Their soul crossed whatever distance sits between you right now, and it found you. It stood beside you. It stayed. The spiritual world calls this sleep crossing. It is what happens when two souls share a bond that the waking world cannot contain. The mind builds walls during the day. The mind says no. The mind says, I am done. The mind says, this is over. But the soul does not listen to walls. The soul waits until the mind is asleep, and then it moves. Their soul crossed to you, and when it returned to their body just before waking, it brought something back. Not a memory, a feeling. The feeling of being near you, the warmth of your presence, the weight of everything they have been pretending they do not feel. And the body could not hold all of that without releasing something. So it released tears. They did not dream about you, but their soul visited you. And the proof was on their pillow when they opened their eyes. If you have ever woken up with tears, you could not explain. Type, "It happened to me too," in the comments. Because the truth is that your soul has been making the same journey. You have been crossing to them in the night the same way they crossed to you, and neither of you remembers. But both of your bodies know. The tears were not sadness. They were the body's receipt for a trip the mind never approved. They tried to forget about that morning. They got up. They went through their day. They told themselves it was nothing. Stress, exhaustion, a bad dream they could not remember. They found 100 small explanations, and none of them fit, because you cannot explain away what the soul does. You can only delay the moment you understand it. And that morning did not leave them. It followed them, not as a thought, as a feeling, a heaviness behind the eyes that would not lift, a tightness in the throat that appeared at random moments, a sudden urge to be still in the middle of a busy room, as if their body needed to stop everything and just feel what it was feeling. They sat at a table with people talking around them, and they were not there. They were somewhere inside themselves, in the place where the tears came from, trying to understand what their body knew that their mind did not. And then it happened again. Not in sleep this time. In the middle of an ordinary moment. Standing in a room doing something that had nothing to do with you. Their eyes filled without permission. Their vision blurred. Their hand went to their face before they even knew it was coming. And they turned away so no one would see. That second time was different. That second time they could not blame on sleep. That second time their mind was fully awake and fully aware, and the tears came anyway. And in that moment they understood something that scared them more than any silence you ever gave them. They are not in control of what they feel for you. They never were. The universe showed me the second reason those tears came, and it is deeper than the first. For a long time, this person has been pressing down on what they feel for you, pressing it into a smaller and smaller space inside their chest. Every day they wake up and they press it down. Every night before sleep, they press it down. Every time your name surfaces, they press it down. They have been doing this for so long that it became automatic, a reflex, a survival skill. Press it down, keep moving. Do not feel it at full volume, but feelings that are pressed down do not disappear. They concentrate, they gather weight, they become denser, and the space they are pressed into becomes smaller and smaller until there is no room left. The spiritual world calls what happened next emotional flooding. It is what happens when the soul decides that the pressing down is done. The soul chooses a moment when the person is at their most vulnerable, usually just before waking, when the mind has not yet rebuilt its defenses, when the body is soft and open and unprotected. And in that moment, the soul opens the door to every feeling that has been pressed down, all at once. That is what those tears were. Every time they missed you and said they did not. Every time they felt you and looked the other way. Every time their body wanted to reach for you and their mind said stop. Every time they swallowed a truth that was too big for their throat. All of it came out in tears. All of it. At once. Those tears were not sadness. They were a flood. A sacred flood. The soul washing away months of pretending. The soul saying, I will not let you keep this locked up anymore. The soul choosing truth over comfort. And the tears were the price. They did not just cry that morning. They released something that had been building inside them since the day they first started pretending they were fine without you. And the flood did not stop when the tears dried. The flood changed the landscape inside them. Things that were buried are now on the surface. Feelings that were hidden are now visible. Truths that were locked away are now sitting in the middle of their chest where they cannot be ignored. They are different now. They don't know it yet. But the morning they woke up crying was the morning everything shifted. Right now, Let your eyes close for just a moment. And when you open them again, notice the first thing you feel. That feeling is closer to the truth than anything your mind has been telling you. That feeling is the same thing they felt when they opened their eyes and found tears on their face. The truth arriving before the explanation. If you felt something move inside you just now, type, "I felt the tears" in the comments. Those words are not about crying. They are about knowing. The tears were not sadness. They were the beginning of something that cannot be undone. And the universe showed me what started happening inside them after that morning. Something they did not expect. Something they could not have prepared for. They started feeling you, not remembering you, not thinking about you, feeling you. The way you feel rain before you see it. The way you feel someone watching you before you turn around. A presence that has no face and no voice but fills a room from the inside out. They were walking somewhere ordinary, a street they have walked 100 times, and out of nowhere your frequency landed on them. Not your face, not your name, your frequency. The specific energy that only you carry. The exact vibration that your presence leaves in a space long after you have gone. It hit them in the middle of a step, and they stopped. Their whole body stopped, and for 3 seconds they could not move, because every cell in their body was receiving you. That is not memory. Memory lives in the mind. What they felt lives in the body, in the bones, in the blood, in the space between heartbeats, where the soul keeps the things the mind tries to throw away. And your soul already knows which frequency is real. The universe showed me the third reason those tears came, and this is the one that changes everything. The spiritual world calls it frequency reset. When a person has been living out of alignment with their truth for too long, the soul uses tears to reset it. The way a compass uses the earth to find north. The way a river uses gravity to find the sea. Tears are the soul's way of resetting the body's frequency back to its true position. And their true frequency is you. Not because you did something to earn that position. Not because you performed or proved or convinced anyone of anything. Because your energy and their energy were tuned to the same note before either of you were born. And every day they spend pretending otherwise is a day their frequency drifts further from where it belongs. And the further it drifts, the more the body suffers, the more the sleep suffers, the more the tears build. That morning was a reset. The soul used those tears to wash away the false frequency they had been living in. The frequency of "I am fine without them." The frequency of "I do not need this." The frequency of "I have moved on." Those frequencies were never real. They were borrowed, performed, maintained by effort, and the effort ran out. The tears washed it all away. And what was left underneath was the original frequency, the one that has always been tuned to you, the one that has been there since before they knew your name, the one that will be there long after every wall they built has turned to dust. They are vibrating at your frequency right now. They may not have words for it. They may not understand why certain moments of the day suddenly feel charged with something invisible. They may not know why the air feels different, why the silence feels thicker, why their body keeps turning in a direction their mind did not choose. But you know, you feel it too. You have been feeling it. That pull that shows up without a reason, that warmth that wraps around your chest at hours that make no sense. That is not your imagination. That is the frequency reset working on both sides of the connection at the same time. The universe does not reset one soul without resetting the other. Type. The reset is real if you believe what you're hearing right now. Let those words carry your knowing into the universe. The tears were not sadness. They were the soul tuning itself back to the only frequency that ever felt like home. And something has been growing in you too, something you did not plan, something the universe has been building quietly inside you while the world was loud. You stopped needing their tears to believe you were worth crying for. There was a time when every sign of their pain would have made you feel validated, when hearing that they suffered would have given you a strange comfort, not because you wanted them to hurt, because their pain was the only proof you had that what you shared was real. That time is over. You do not need proof anymore. You stopped measuring your value by whether someone misses you out loud. You stopped looking for your own reflection in someone else's pain. You stopped waiting for the world to confirm what your heart already knows. You became the kind of person who does not need proof of love to keep breathing. The kind of person who can hold the unknown without gripping it so tight it breaks. The kind of person whose peace is not a performance for anyone's benefit, but a place you actually live in now. That did not happen overnight. It happened one morning at a time, one breath at a time, one moment where you chose to stay in your own life instead of living inside the question of whether someone else was thinking of you. You stopped carrying their silence like it was something you caused. You set it down, not with anger, with the quiet understanding that silence belongs to the person who chose it, not to the person who received it. And that shift, my dear, is something the entire spiritual world has been watching. Because when a soul stops begging for evidence and starts trusting what it knows, the universe reorganizes everything around that trust. Doors move, paths clear. Things that were stuck begin to flow. Not because you forced anything, because you stopped forcing. And in that surrender, everything that was meant for you began to move. If there is one thing you wish they knew about how you feel, type it in the comments right now. Just one thing. Let it out. Let the universe hold it for you. The tears were not sadness. They were the beginning of a conversation their mouth has never been brave enough to start. And the universe showed me the fourth reason, the deepest one, the one that ties everything together. What happened that morning was not just a release. It was not just a reset. It was a confession, not a confession made to another person, a confession made to the universe itself. In that moment of uncontrolled tears, lying in the quiet with a wet face and no explanation, something inside them spoke, not in words, in the only language that passes between a soul and the divine. In surrender, in the dropping of every mask at once, in the raw truth of a body that could no longer pretend. The spiritual world calls this soul confession. It is the rarest kind of confession because the person making it does not even know they are making it. Their conscious mind was not involved, their pride was not consulted, their fear was not given a vote. The soul simply spoke. And what it said was your name, over and over, woven into every tear. Jung once said that the dream is the small hidden door in the deepest and most intimate sanctum of the soul. And what happened to this person was not a dream. It was deeper than a dream. It was their soul using that door to walk straight to the only truth it has never been able to deny. The confession was heard. The universe received it. Every tear was counted. Every feeling that poured through was witnessed by forces that have been watching over this connection since before either of you knew it existed. And a confession made to the universe cannot be taken back. A confession made in tears cannot be unsaid. What their soul admitted that morning is now part of the permanent record of what exists between you. It is written, it is sealed, and it is moving towards something that neither their fear nor their silence can stop. They do not know this yet. They think those tears were a moment of weakness. They think it was a breakdown that will not happen again. They think they can go back to pressing everything down. They cannot. The confession changed the rules. The soul that confesses does not go back to pretending. It may take time. It may take more mornings. It may take more tears that arrive without warning and leave without explanation. But the direction has been set, and the direction is toward truth. The tears were not sadness. They were a confession, and the universe heard every word. Type soul confession if you know exactly who this message is about. Let those 2 words be your own quiet confession to the universe tonight. Right now, press your fingertips gently against your closed eyelids. Just for a second. Feel the warmth. That is where tears begin, and that is where truth lives when it has nowhere else to go. You're touching the same place on your own face that their tears came from. The same thin skin, the same warmth, the same sacred territory where the body speaks what the mouth refuses to say. Let your fingertips stay there for a moment. Let them remind you that you are connected to this person in places that no distance can reach. Something is shifting in the energy around this connection right now, not just inside them, between you. The tears that fell that morning did not only change them, they sent something into the space between you. A signal, a vibration, a truth that now exists in the field that connects your soul to theirs. You may have already felt it, a dream about them that felt more real than waking life, a heaviness that arrived without a source and lifted without a reason, a moment in the middle of your day when you stopped and felt their presence so clearly that you almost turned around to see if they were standing behind you. Those are not memories. Those are signals. The frequency reset is doing what it was designed to do, realigning the energy between you, carrying feeling across distance, carrying truth across silence, carrying the weight of a confession that was made in tears and received by the universe. Maybe what comes next will surprise both of you. Maybe it will not look like a message or a call or a conversation. Maybe it will be a moment so quiet that no one else in the room would notice. Maybe the next time they see you, something will be different in their eyes. Not the words they say, their eyes. You will see something behind them that was not there before. Something open, something honest. Something that looks like a person who has been washed clean by their own tears and does not know how to hide anymore. Maybe you will not be able to name it, but you will feel it. The way you feel sunlight on your skin before you look up at the sky. Maybe they will look at you the way someone looks at a place they thought they would never see again, with the relief of arriving somewhere they were afraid they had lost forever, with the weight of every morning they woke up reaching for something that was not there. Maybe that look will say more than 1,000 words. And maybe you will understand all of it without asking. Or maybe what the universe brings will be quieter than that. Maybe it will come as a gradual softening, a slow warming of the air between you over days you cannot count. Maybe one morning you will simply wake up and know that something has changed, not because a message arrived, because the frequency shifted, and you felt it in your body before your mind had a word for it. Maybe what happened that morning was not the end of something. Maybe it was the beginning. Maybe the universe needed them to be washed open before anything real could come through. Maybe the tears were the price of admission to the next chapter. Maybe that next chapter has both of your names in it. Maybe it does not. And maybe that is okay too, because the tears were still real, and what they meant was still sacred, and the confession was still heard. And you are still whole regardless of what any other soul decides to do with their truth. You have been whole through all of it, through the silence, through the distance, through every night you wondered if the connection was only in your mind, through every morning you chose to get up and keep building a life that belongs to you, and only you. You learned that you can hold space for someone without holding your breath. You learned that loving someone does not require you to pause your own life until they figure out theirs. You learned that the strongest thing a heart can do is not wait. It is live, fully, without conditions, without guarantees, without needing anyone else's tears to feel worthy of love. That is not a small thing. That is the thing the universe has been building inside you this entire time. And it is more powerful than any confession, more lasting than any tear, more sacred than any signal. You are not waiting for them to come to you with the truth of that morning. You are not holding your breath for the moment they finally say what their tears already said. You are here, in your own life, in your own rhythm, standing on ground that you built with your own hands during every quiet night when no one was watching and no one was clapping. That ground is yours. And nothing that happens between you and this person can take it from you. My dear, hear this. Whatever that morning eventually brings to their door and to yours, whatever form the truth takes when it finally finds a voice, whatever words they use or do not use, you are already complete. You were complete before they cried. You were complete before they confessed. You were complete before this message found you tonight. The universe did not send you this signal because you needed saving. It sent it because you deserve to know that the tears on their pillow were about you, that the connection your heart sensed was never imaginary, that the love that existed between you left a mark on their soul so deep that their body cries about it in sleep. You deserve to know that. Not because knowing it changes anything, because knowing it confirms what your heart has been telling you all along. You were right. You were always right. And you do not need anyone else's tears to prove it. Jung once said that your visions become clear only when you look into your own heart. This person looked into their own heart that morning, and what they found there was you. Not as a memory, not as a wish, as a permanent resident, as something that has been living inside them so quietly and so deeply that they forgot it was there. Until the tears reminded them, until the flood brought it to the surface, until the confession made it real in a way that can never be undone. That is the real signal, not the tears on their pillow, not the confession to the universe. The real signal is you, standing here, still breathing, still growing, still choosing to be alive in a world that has not always been kind to your heart. You are the signal, my dear. You have always been the signal. Before you leave, type "tears heard" so the universe knows this message reached you. Let those 2 words be the seal on everything that moved between your soul and the truth tonight. You do not need their tears to confirm you are worth loving. You already know that. Not because someone finally told you, because you told yourself on every quiet morning when no one was watching and you got up anyway. That is the proof. You are the proof. You have always been the proof. Whatever those tears eventually bring, whatever door they open, whatever truth they carry into the light, you will be standing in a place that no one else's confession or silence can move you from. That place is you. You have always been standing there. The tears just reminded one more soul of something the universe has known all along. Share this with someone who needs to hear that the tears someone cried about them were not sadness. They were recognition, like this video, so the universe can carry this message to every heart that needs it tonight. Subscribe to Soul Signal and turn on all notifications so the next signal reaches you at the moment it is meant to. The next time a signal finds you, my dear, may you already know that you do not need anyone's tears to confirm your place in this world, because your place was never given to you by someone else's feelings. It was carved by your own life, your own love, your own quiet refusal to become less than what you are. The tears were not sadness, they were recognition, and the universe will never let them forget what they recognized that morning. You. It was always you.